Hey, this is Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend, Scott Ferguson.
Time to Shine Today podcast, Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and welcome to episode 213. It's been a minute since I've dropped a show, been actually 2 weeks, and I've never went 2 weeks before, but I wanted to revamp our little program here, and I think that you'll love it and like it, and I've got great feedback so far. But today we have my man Fitzpatrick, Tim Fitzpatrick from Rialto Marketing. Listen to the knowledge nuggets my boy Tim's about to drop here, man. We had a great Fitz and Ferg conversation. His transparency shines through. I'm giving serious consideration to hiring his company for Time to Shine Today because of the transparency, how he takes the simple and the fundamentals and works them back, reverse engineers, and gets them into play. So everything works out. It's so simple. So without further ado, sit back, relax, break out your notebooks, because here comes my really good friend, Tim Fitzpatrick from Rialto Marketing. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast, Varsity Squad. And I have my good buddy here, Tim Fitzpatrick. We got a little Ferg and Fitz time here. My man is here. And you know what? I get stuck a lot. I don't know about you listeners out there, but on information overload. And somebody that, and you can just, it actually puts you in a paralysis situation where you're like, oh crap, what do I do next? Why aren't people opening my stuff? Why is my marketing not working? Well, that's where my boy Tim from Rialto Marketing comes in. Tim's an entrepreneur, business owner with expertise in marketing and business growth. He has 20 plus years of entrepreneurial experience with a passion for developing and growing businesses. He started Rialto Marketing in 2013 and has been helping service businesses simplify marketing so they can grow with less stress. I love that because I'm stressed every day about the growth of Time to Shine Today. I'm just lucky to have you listeners out there. And we're going to bring my good friend, Tim Fitzpatrick on. Tim, please come on, introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
Okay. Scott, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I'm super excited to be here. So my favorite color is navy blue. Couldn't tell you why. It's just always clicked with me. So blue is my jam.
Is this the way? Are you just kissing my butt because I did 6 years in the Navy and you're just saying that, man? Or
no,
is it... I'm just kidding. Hey man, let's get to the origins, man, of where you had in that light bulb moment, epiphany moment that got you to start Rialto about 8 years ago.
Sure. So, the first business that I was a part of, I was a partner in that. It was a wholesale distribution company, and we grew that business about 60% a year. We sold it after 9 years. I loved that. I learned so much doing that. I worked for that company for another 3 years, and then interestingly enough, I got laid off. So the company that bought us laid me off. That's not as uncommon of a thing as some people might think. But after that, I decided to get into residential real estate. I had always been interested in real estate. And after about two and a half years, I was like, I can't stand this. This is not my thing. It's a great thing for some people. It was not for me.
22 years here, I've been a broker, man.
So yeah, there you go. So, there was aspects of it I like. I learned a ton.
Yeah.
But I had a hard time turning it off, because like when you're in residential real estate, it's like anybody you run into could potentially be a customer. And I'm just like, I just can't stand feeling this way. Not only that, I went from like everybody wanting to talk to me because I was selling home theater equipment to, oh my God. Oh yeah. There's the realtor. No, I didn't
go out. Yeah. Okay.
So it just was not a good fit for me. And I said, look, I got to do something different.
Sure.
So at that point, I started thinking about what I loved about being in distribution, where my skill sets were. And that's when I decided to move into marketing. It's dynamic. It's changing all the time, keeps me on my toes. And so that's when I made that shift. But, Scott, when I originally made that shift, we weren't doing what we're doing now. We're offering comprehensive marketing now, working with a lot of service-based businesses. When I first got into it, we were selling mobile applications into the K-12 education space.
Okay.
And about 3 years into it, Apple changed their publishing guidelines and my business was like shut down overnight. along with a lot of other people. So,
Wow.
I had to make that shift. It was like, man, I'm super vulnerable here to the policies of Google and Apple. Not a good place to be. I need to shift, and so I shifted within marketing to what we're doing now. But my path has not been straight. It's been a winding road, like most people.
It, as it should be. If you're
Yeah.
successful. So why the name Rialto?
That's a great question. Twofold. One, Venice was where the Rialto Bridge is in Venice.
Mm-hmm.
For those that don't know, my wife and I went there on our honeymoon, so it's close to my heart.
Yeah.
But the other reason I love the bridge concept is bridges help people get from where they are to where they want to go, where they want to be. And that's exactly what marketing does. It helps you get from where your business currently is and grow it to where you want it to be. So twofold.
Love that. So what do you think then makes a great marketer?
What makes a great marketer? Well, at its base level, one that gets results.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's too many people that work with marketers. They've had bad experiences. They spent money. They didn't get a return. They spent money. They weren't sure where it was going. I can't tell you how many people I talk to weekly, and they're working with somebody. I said, well, what are they doing for you? And they can't clearly articulate what the hell those people are doing. That's a problem, because, marketing is not everybody's forte, and that's okay. But marketing, if you don't have marketing in your business, you have nothing. You can have the best product or service in the world, but if you don't have marketing bringing in leads that you're turning into customers, none of that stuff matters. So you at least as a business owner have to have an idea of what your marketer is doing for you. Super, super important.
Okay. Are you at Rialto? Are you guys pretty transparent on what you do? Because it seems to me from what I've heard, and I've vetted you out a little bit, that you guys will actually tell your clients pretty much what you're doing because they trust you to get it done because they don't have the time to do it. Am I saying that right? Are you guys pretty transparent?
You hit the nail on the head because so one of the promises that we make to clients is 100% transparency. If you've got a question, just ask. Okay. And my philosophy on anything business related, but with what we're doing with marketing, we teach people exactly what we do. If you want to take what we do and use it and you have the wherewithal and the capability to implement it, great. You're not going to be a good client for me anyways.
Yeah.
So we just give information away, and hey, there are people out there that are going to say, I don't have the time. I don't have the capability, and I need a partner I can rely on to do that. Mm-hmm. And so, here we give it away.
Your great client.
If you want to work with us, awesome. We'd be happy to chat and do what we can to help you. But I think where a lot of marketers go astray is they skip the fundamentals. So there are great marketers out there, great SEO people, great content marketers, great social people. They specialize in those niches and they do great work. But the problem is if you don't have the fundamentals that are laying the foundation in place first, and you just get tactical with social or content or SEO, they may drive leads, but it's not going to be as effective as it should be. Because to me, the fundamentals, I call them the marketing strategy trilogy. You have to understand your target market. So who are your ideal clients? Mm-hmm. How are you going to help those people?
Sure.
From there, you have to create great messaging that's clear and engaging to that target market. And then you have to have a plan in place of how you're going to get that message in front of those people. Well, if you're spending whatever, $1,000 or $1,500 a month on SEO, driving traffic back to your website, and you don't really know who you're trying to attract, your marketing message on your website is lousy. You have no good calls to action. You're wasting money. You may be driving your traffic, website traffic may be going up, but that doesn't matter if you're not converting that traffic to leads.
And if the fundamentals aren't there and a shift comes up, like what happened to you in wholesale, then you are off the map if you put everything into something. And I'm happy that you said that. So then when you're bringing somebody in, maybe in a discovery period, Fitz, what is there any secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, to help them find their blind spots in their marketing?
It's really about, well, one, it's about asking the right questions, but the way I look at it is we just ask them what they're currently doing. You have to get a baseline of where you're starting from or where you're currently at to figure out what you need to focus on and what you need to put in your plan to get to where you want to be. It's like your GPS. My GPS can't tell me how to get to Denver International Airport until I tell it that I'm starting from Highlands Ranch or Inglewood or wherever it may be. With your marketing, frankly, with any planning, it's no different.
Right.
I need to know where you're currently at. And the challenge that a lot of business owners have is they get lost with the fundamentals. They're not sexy. They're not cool.
Right.
Nobody's talking about them. They're talking about, oh my God, you got to be on Clubhouse, or you got to be on TikTok. They're talking about the tactics. What we're really focusing on is making the old new again.
Right.
We're not talking about anything that's revolutionary. The fundamentals in any discipline don't change. If I want to stand up to the plate and hit a major league fastball, the fundamentals of that, they're the same today as they were 50 years ago.
Yes, they were. Yes,
right.
They are.
And the other thing too is the fundamentals, they're simple.
Yes.
They're not overly difficult. That doesn't mean that they're easy, right? A professional baseball player makes it look easy because why? They've been practicing the fundamentals day in, day out, year after year, right? Or if you look at golf, right? All these professional golfers, they make it look easy, but what you don't see is the hours of time that they spend hitting golf balls on a driving range.
Reps, dude.
Yeah, that's reps. It. And your marketing is no different. If you skip those fundamentals, you're building a house without a foundation, and your marketing becomes a crapshoot.
Yeah, and it just falls down on you.
Inevitably, when they run into problems, right? They waste time, they waste money, and they go, "What's wrong?" Inevitably, you can trace that back to one of the fundamentals or multiple fundamentals that were skipped or overlooked. So you gotta come back to those fundamentals, then you can start to get tactical.
Got it. So when you're bringing in, those are all fantastic points, Tim. So but you're bringing in a new possible client, maybe again in the discovery period. Is there any good question that you wish they would ask you but never do?
I wish they would ask us more about our philosophy and how we approach marketing, right? Because the challenge, that I think a lot of business owners have when they think about marketing is we're an instant gratification society. We're so used to getting the information we need quickly. And the reality is marketing takes time. Yes, there are quick wins that we can get, but a lot of the things that you're going to invest in from a marketing standpoint aren't going to happen overnight. And so many people are impatient and they expect immediate results. And frankly, people in the marketing space have created this problem, I think, too, because they're always promising those results. Oh yeah, we can get you leads tomorrow. Yeah. Or we can get you leads in 2 weeks. Well, that's great. But there's always something that pops up. It's like it's too good to be true, know. And then I'm talking to people who are like, "Well, yeah, I worked with so and so. It didn't work."
Right.
You have to view marketing as an investment. It's like a flywheel. It's not a light switch you can turn on and off.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you have to maintain it. And absolutely.
I wish more people asked about that.
I get it. Yeah, because it all goes back to the fundamentals of what you were talking about as well, Tim. So, have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yeah, it's been a while, but
it's been a minute, right? Yeah. So let's get that DeLorean with Marty McFly. Let's go back to the 22-year-old Tim Fitzpatrick. What kind of knowledge nuggets, we call him here at Time to Shine today, what kind of knowledge nuggets are you dropping on the 22-year-old Tim to help him maybe level up, shorten his learning curve, and blast through?
I would say have more patience. When I was 22, I was very impatient. And I was driving really hard while we were growing our distribution company. Mm-hmm. But I also think too that I didn't have as much empathy as I do now. And I wish that I would have been more empathetic at times to the people that I worked with, to what they were going through, I think I would have been a much better communicator at that point.
Would you have listened?
Maybe.
I know, me too. I look back at a lot of the things with patience and actually looking through other people's eyes. I don't know if I would have listened, but that would have been fantastic advice to my 22-year-old self. So how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your life date and death date, incarnation date, expiration date. How do you want Tim's dash remembered?
How do I want people to remember me?
Yeah. How do you want that dash remembered on your tombstone? That little line between your life date and death date.
Yeah. I just want people to remember me as somebody that had an impact on their life positively, right? In some way, shape, or form. That's if I can do that for as many people as possible, I would consider my life one well lived. It's I'm going to tell you, if we've got time, I'm going to tell you a short story here about that relates to this. So my wife, several years ago, this is probably 6 or 7 years ago, my wife was in Costco. Our girls were pretty young at the time. They're only 18 months apart. So they were both sitting in the cart. And this guy walked up to my wife and said, "Oh God, gosh, your girls are so cute. They grow up so fast. Don't take any minute for granted." Sure. And my wife said, "Oh, thank you so much. How old are your girls?" He's like, "Oh, they're all in their 20s now." And my wife thinks about that one moment all the time. And so it's like, sometimes the littlest things that we say to a complete stranger have a huge impact on their life. So it's not just those people that I come in contact with on a regular basis that I want to have an impact, but it's just like, man, holding the door open for somebody at the grocery store, brother. Right? And just saying something nice to them can absolutely change things around for somebody like that. And we don't even think twice about it.
It's funny you say that, because my New Year's resolution was, make someone smile every single day and never meet a stranger. That's how I roll, man. That's like, I love that you say that, because you come from such a great place of service. So Fitz, what keeps you up at night?
Boy, that's a good question. Not a lot usually, but I'm one of those people, I have a hard time relaxing. So I feel like if I'm just sitting there doing nothing, that I'm wasting time. And I probably shouldn't be, because you need to have that downtime. But what keeps me up at night is my brain just running through all the things that I could do, should do with my business to continue to grow it. So it's not one thing in particular. It's just, it's whatever is happening in my business at that point in time that I'm thinking about. So it's my monkey mind that keeps me up at night.
The monkey mind. It's the broad blanket of service that you're looking to really give. That's fantastic. So what do you think people misunderstand the most about Tim?
Boy, I don't know. I hope I'm not misunderstood. I think early on, like going back to my 22-year-old self, I think I could come across cocky sometimes. I always saw it as being confident, but I have a very dry sense of humor. So sometimes I joke with people and they're like, "Jesus, what? Dude, did he really?" And they don't realize it was a joke.
No, you're like a jerk. You like to be like jerk. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is definitely something I don't want to come across as, because I'm the older I get, the more I come from a place of service.
Yeah. And like, I used to think I was authentic when I was younger, but I was authentically an asshole is what you know what I'm saying? And I learned from it. I leveled up from it. So Tim, let's take out our cell phone. Let's take out our computer out of it. Let's take out anything electrical. What are 3 things Tim can't live without?
3 things I can't live without. My family, first and foremost. And then I would say my hobbies. So nature, getting out in nature. I live in Colorado. I love getting out there.
Boom.
My mountain bike, paddleboarding. We're just getting into paddleboarding, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Every morning, baby. I'm on the Jupiter Inlet. Oh,
And
yeah.
then I would say exercise. So I exercise every morning, 5 days a week. That is my time. Nobody else in the house is up. It's quiet. It's the one time of day where things are, it's my Shangri-La. So
that's awesome, man. Thank you for being transparent on that. And hey, we are back with my boy Fitz, the Fitz and Ferg time here. And I'm so blessed to have my guy here, Tim Fitzpatrick from Rialto Marketing on. And Tim, we are going to have our leveling up lightning round where you and I could talk an hour, hour and a half on each one of these. Because what you're doing is you're blowing my mind. I have 2 pages of notes, squad, and I hope you're taking them too. But you have to give me an answer in 5 seconds with no explanation. You ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
Let's do this. Let's level up. What's the best leveling up advice Tim's ever received?
Oh, man. The day you stop learning is the day you die.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Getting up early and meditating and exercising.
Love it. So other than your website, rialtomarketing.com, and also timetoshinetoday.com, a shameless plug, what other website do you go to level up?
Oh, boy, I don't go to a lot of websites to level up.
You can just say Google. Google's fine.
I go to Google when I need.
It is.
When I'm looking for something specifically, I go to Google and then I branch out from there.
Love it.
And Tim, what I'm looking for depends on
the site
where I'm at.
Yeah. Got it. You're seeing me in my doldrums quickly in these. You see me in my doldrums. Like, Fergie just saying ain't right now. What book are you handing me to help me level up?
Essentialism by Greg McKeown.
Boom.
Awesome book.
Awesome. Yes. Your most commonly used emoji?
Smiley face.
Love it. And don't lie to me, Tim, because I know your age. If you could stay one age physically for the rest of your life and keep the knowledge that you've gained and continue to garner knowledge physically, what age would you stay for the rest of your life?
30.
Yes, I always say 20 to 32. Thank you for being honest with me. Your favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
Time to Remember.
Love it. Best decade of music, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Gotta be the 90s.
All right, my man. you had some Nirvana like opening up the 90s, you know.
That's right. That's right.
On, bro. Good stuff. So Tim, how can we find you, brother?
Best place Fergie is to go to rialtomarketing.com. So it's RIALTO marketing.com. And I know I gave you a link with some special resources for your Time to Shine Today listeners that will help them with those fundamentals. So they can pop on over there and get that free stuff to help them get going.
That's awesome. So Tim, can you leave us with one last knowledge nugget we can take with us, internalize, and take action on?
Yes. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Leonardo da Vinci said that. Don't overcomplicate things. We got to keep them simple because complexity is the enemy of results. So boil things down to their most simple form. You will be far more effective.
So simplicity is the ultimate
sophistication.
Wow. That's strong, man. Love it. And squad, we just got a free masterclass from my good friend Tim Fitzpatrick from Rialto Marketing here that, he had to make a shift away because he's seen that these big companies were literally cutting in and saying, hey, dude, you can't do that. You're making too much success. So he had to make a shift away. And so he thought of the bridge concept within marketing and bringing 2 points together. Good marketing is going to get great results. I mean, duh, right? But Tim's company does it, and they're very transparent. Basically, they'll do it, and you're like, dude, I can do this. And then you try to do it, and you might have success, but I guarantee you'll be going back to Tim because there's a lot of moving parts that he's in there. He said he likens it to a flywheel. He'll tell you that bad marketers skip the fundamentals. He wants to bring what was old new again to help you grow. The marketing strategy trilogy of your target market, great messaging, and your plan is paramount to your success to grow your company. Rialto will ask great questions of you to set up your baseline and help you start to level up. And again, we're going to go back to fundamentals. They're easy. So make sure you don't skip the fundamentals. I mean, you go to a basketball game, hockey game, whatever. In my life as jiu-jitsu, it's like we still drill the arm bar every single day. And that is the most basic movement, but we do it because we're going to get in competition and you're going to see it. The fundamentals are key. If you're going to work with a marketing company, ask about their philosophy and their approach to marketing, and make sure that they stay on that baseline of fundamentals. Remember also, marketing takes time. Okay. Stay patient. Trust Rialto's protocol and process. They will get you there. He would tell himself, like I would tell myself, I don't know if I would listen, but to be patient, have empathy for people. Whether you're 22 or 102, those are what you need to do. He's going to have an impact positively on people's lives, and he realized that what he says has an impact on every person he meets. He wants to smile, open the door for you, compliment you. He wants you to never stop learning. And lastly, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. In other words, in Time to Shine today lingo, dumb it down. Get it. Make it simple. Tim, you level up your health. You level up your wealth. You're just a fantastic human being. You're humble yet hungry. You're just awesome, man. I can't wait to collaborate and send awesome people your way to help them level up, brother.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Fergie. I appreciate it.
You bet, man. Love your guts. I'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast, proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you're a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.